Take two. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. It's the 22nd day of August in the year of our Lord Steam the Cats 2023. It's about 70 degrees and sunny here at Site B, and it's Tuesday. And on Tuesday, we look at toys, specifically Games Workshop toys, because I noticed nobody else in my end of the world really covers this stuff. So I thought I would. So let's see what, if anything, is new since last week we take a look. I did try recording this about 10 minutes ago, but then the phone rang and I had to take the phone. So it looks like we have got a couple new things from last time we looked. We got to go to the pre-orders, and then we go from there. So it looks like the last time we looked at these was here. Yeah. All right. So first, let's go to the rumors. There are none. Other game companies, especially Darrington Press, copy this idea, because this is a great way to keep people coming back to your webpage, even if you don't post anything. I would love every week to see an update on what's going on with Illuminated Worlds and Dagger Heartbeats. Yes, I'm using that. Even if the update is, there is no update, because it keeps me coming back to see if there's an update. So I love the fact that they do this even when there's nothing to talk about. All right. So the last time, wow, every time I recharge this page, it changes. Weird. So the last time we checked was here. So we're starting off with here with the Sunday preview and moving up. We've got a new Cities of Sigmar mini box campaign setting coming out. This is called the Cities of Sigmar. It'll cost more than I make in a month knowing Warhammer, but it's got a bunch of paladin and normal looking dudes. And these are all pretty easy to put together. They're pretty much pre-assembled and pre-painted. So all you got to do is just get them ready, and you could use them for city. There's definitely a couple potential player characters in here, a couple NPCs. If you're looking for a great way to get a huge collection of just normal looking city militia dudes for your D&D game, this is always a great way to get them. We've got some new units coming out. We've got this Lizardman unit, who I absolutely love, especially this guy. This Lizardman Shaman riding a dinosaur. That is just 100% OGGM cool. That is an encounter I would definitely throw at players. And I know the players would go, even if they lost the encounter, they would go, dude, that was fucking cool. A Lizardman Shaman riding a dinosaur. We got a new champion for the Loyalists. Pretty average-looking Warhammer dude. He's got his little Warhammer sword, his little Warhammer bolty gun, his little Warhammer earphones, his little holy scripture. Yeah, pretty average. Got some new literature from the Warhammer literary section. I did not know there were so many books set in the Warhammer Games Workshop world. I mean, for my entire 56 years of life, I think I've seen five Warhammer books in the wild. So I don't know if it's a United States thing or a Barnes & Noble thing or just a California thing, but apparently there's lots of books. I assume you would find them at a Games Workshop store in your neighborhood, and you probably would find them over there across the pond in Europe, where Games Workshop is obviously way bigger and mostly stationed. But so, yeah, apparently there's lots of books in all their settings. We got another baby mini game. These mini games are also great if you want to explore the multiple Games Workshops worlds, but you don't want to make that $200,000 investment. You could just pick up one of the baby games like this one and play through the scenarios and see if it's a game you like. And then you could, slowly move on to the bigger and bigger branches. It's like the shallow end of Games Workshop are these things. And they're always putting out new ones. And I mean, leave it to Games Workshop. They have mastered the art of merchandise and keeping people interested in their product, because they're constantly re-releasing stuff to keep that interest going, whether it's baby games like this or single figures or whatever. They constantly find new and exciting ways to get people to remember they're still out there and to bring new people to this. So you can take anything else away from Games Workshop, but when it comes to merchandise, they're the king. We've got the announcement of some Games Workshop stuff showing up in China. And in China, it's called Blitz Bowl instead of Blood Bowl because I guess you can't use the word blood. I don't know. And then speaking of merchandising, look at this cute little thing. This is a lanyard you would use for your work if you have to wear lanyards at work. And it's got this little Nurgle chaos demon dude on it. How much trouble would you get if you wore that to work? But I'm wearing the lanyard. Looks like we got another painting guide coming up and some more additions to the Warhammer app. If you are a Warhammer guy, the app is probably a really great idea because you can just put your entire army in the app and just have it there and, not have to shuffle through 27 pieces of paper. So yes, I know that's hypocritical of me because normally I am totally against the apps. And I'm like, dude, the app doesn't work. But this, you only have to look at like one thing on the app. And as long as you keep it on that one page, you wouldn't have to worry too much about, whether your computer in the place you're playing can process it or not. So this is one of the few cases where I think the app does work. And I'm wondering if other miniature type skirmish games will start releasing apps too for keeping track of your army builds, because it would make things so much easier, I think, if that was your thing. I don't know. I would think so. Maybe I'm wrong. We got a new orc boss. This guy looks weird. Definitely going for a little Mad Max theme here, obviously. He's got really stumpy arms. And I notice I comment on this a lot in the shapes of a lot of the bodies of the Warhammer guys. You'll often hear me say, where are his legs? Or, wow, his arms are really stumpy. So I don't know if this just is a artistic choice on the modelers, or this is just some idea that is supposed to, sort of enhance that subconscious running theme through all of Warhammer of the chaos mutating everybody, or just they really like people with stumpy legs and stumpy arms at the Warhammer house. I don't know. Other than that, pretty awesome looking average orc boss. You could use this for any type of, evil humanoid. I'm sorry, we're not supposed to call them evil anymore. Politically misunderstood humanoid for your bad guys. No, we're not supposed to call them bad guys anymore. Opponents. We've got an article of on the big stompy ones and how to do city skirmishes with the big stompy robots. If you want to, if you're into the big stompy robots. I recently heard one of these sold for $50K. $50K for one of these big stompy robots. And you're going to be like, that is ridiculous for one figure. But then you're also going to be like, but yeah, Henry Cavill spent $200,000 on his Warhammer army. So it's an addiction. Make no mistake. These figures are a drug. We've got a new unit for Blood Bowl. Apparently supposed to be squid themed. And again, there's the stumpy arms. The cloak is kind of cool. The helmet is kind of cool. It's definitely got that. Yeah, he definitely looks like he's trying to run a field goal. And if you can see, there's a football in his arm. So that's kind of cool. We've got 2 articles on the designs of City of Sigmar. So they've got some roundtables of City of Sigmar, which would lead us to believe that we can expect a new Sigmar City of Sigmar set coming out before the year's over, or before Q1 2024 is over. So if they're talking about it, we can probably expect it, because that's the other thing Games Workshop is really, really good at, making sure their stuff is obsolete. Games Workshop product is like buying an iPhone. The second you buy the Games Workshop product and take it home, the rules are obsolete and they've made a brand new rule set and you have to rebuy everything and rebuild all your armies. It's totally like that meme about the iPhone. I just got the iPhone 14. They just released the iPhone 15. When? Just now. I just left the store. The iPhone 15 is out. You should go back and get it. I'm still standing in the store. Oh, the iPhone 15 is already sold out. I haven't left the store. Yeah. Same thing with the rules for Warhammer. The second you get that Sigmar home and build your first army, they're going to be like, oh, nope. No. We released new rules. And we've got some new literature coming out in the world of Warhammer. A bunch of them. We got 1, 2, I'll get back to her in a second. 3, 4, 5 new books all set. in the Warhammer Fantasy setting, including one audiobook. So we've got Kraganos, Avatar of Destruction. I guess the entire book's about this guy. We've got Hallowed Ground. Looks like a undead hunting spooky book. That's kind of fun. We got this one, Dynasty of Monsters, which is an audiobook. And then it's got this weird looking individual who I get what they're going for, but doesn't work. I think they should have put the wings higher. So she's supposed to be a bat centaur, upper half human, lower half bat. Okay, I get that. But the wing, if that was the image you were going for, it probably would have started the wings up below the chestilies, and then the gradual transition into lower half of bat. I mean, you're trying to copy centaur, which is upper half humanoid, lower half horse, with the lower half starting about here. With a horse, that kind of works, but with this bat, no, it doesn't work. This doesn't work. I would put the wings coming out probably underneath her titilies, and then everything below the titilies and the wings, the slow, gradual transition from humanoid into bat. But other than that, that looks fun. She looks fucking cool. And then this looks like a two-parter, including an audiobook. So yeah, that is everything that is new Warhammer this week, other than a battle report. This comes from a Necromunda battle report. This was a humans versus mutants battle that was played out at several Games Workshops. Games Workshop / Warhammer has its own league, just like Paizo and Wizards of the Coast and other game companies do. And they have official scenarios that are played out at Games Workshop stores weekly, monthly, yearly. And they then post the reports for these online. And this is one for Necromunda. Necromunda is the city-based version of Warhammer, sort of their take on cyberpunk, dystopian, mega city type stuff. And here we've got a bunch of just poor underworked sewer workers having to deal with sewer mutants coming up to do whatever it is sewer mutants do. Yeah. All right. So that's what's new this week from Games Workshop. If you play Warhammer, head on down to your friendly local Games Workshop or friendly local game store and pick up the latest amount of Warhammer toys, knowing full well that the second you get them home, they will be obsolete. Why do I do this every week? Well, I want to expand my audience, and I want to cover things that other people don't normally cover from my end of the tabletop role-playing game spectrum. Now, I'm sure this makes me a boring, uneducated, inexperienced clown, according to some people. But, I actually like to talk about what's going on in the community as opposed to just, talking shit about people, because there's plenty of other people who do that. And that's not my thing. Even though I know that if I shit talked people, I'd probably get more views. I don't need to. Enough people shit talk me as it is. Till next time, if you appreciate the Warhammer stuff every Tuesday, let me know. If you never want to see me talk about the Warhammer stuff ever again, let me know. I'm the OGGM, reminding you to like, share, and subscribe. And tell me what you're thinking. Always tell me what you're thinking. Don't be afraid to tell me whether you like an installment or not, because that way I can shape the future of the product for you, because I'm a shameless shill. See ya.